Hello, Kawans. Little Cat here, wishing you a Selamat Hari Raya, Salam Lebaran, Happy Eid Mubarak, and welcome back to Immortal Part 1 after a 1 week break. Wendigo gets an inspiration point for some text RP. In session 30, which was 2 weeks ago, the gang dealt with a parasiticized captive, returned to the safety of Bror, gave Sobesh what they hoped to be gainful employment, and then went their separate ways to do some personal stuff without agreeing to a time and place to reconvene. Valerius had tasked himself to care for the Miloshes with Gundog's friend Max, while Gundog herself disappeared into the night. She had found an interesting poem that alluded to a meeting with an Aegis personnel, and had returned to where the Miloshes were hiding the morning after. Valerius, you spent the night in the quiet, being watched over by a very curious Teg when he wasn't asleep. Max silently watching and occasionally leaving to do a perimeter check, as far as you know, and even waited for Gundog to return this morning. You finally set off to do your own housekeeping. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Where would you like to start?
At this point, would have Gaspodi's open at this point?
Guest buddies would open at 9 o'clock, but it's not unheard of for the place to sort of have people inside. You
Well, I'm
may
on
be lucky.
well, I'm on the outskirts of town right now, so I guess I'll take a carriage towards the climate control portion of the city, then go to what's it called? Go to a Gaspodi's there. That should take about 30 minutes.
Yeah, by the time you reach guest buddies, it'll definitely 100% be open.
All right, I'll do that first then.
Okay. You make your way, hitching a ride on one of the carriages along with, I assume, other people. It's sort of like a bus. Um, it's a very comfortable ride, but you're very excited to reach guest buddies. Eventually, you reach the place. You see the beautiful signage outside, guest buddies, and then if you squint a little bit, it's sort of like saying guest buddies ass. You wipe that away from your head and you walk
Uh,
in with the dingling of the bell. You see Imogen further behind attending to another customer. The shop is like you saw in Efflon Minor. Nothing really has changed except maybe 20% of the stock seems less finessed.
okay. Valerius will make his way over to the counter, knowing that whatever he's looking for is going to be behind the counter anyway, so he'll just wait politely for Imogen to be available. So as I'm walking towards the counter, I'll just have a glance towards the shelf, see what's new, and give a friendly wave to Imogen to let her know I'm here and waiting for her to finish her business.
Okay, make me a quick old perception check as you glance over all the shelves.
Unnat 20.
Okay. With the 20, it's the usual gear. There are scrolls that are not hidden in some back room. Obviously from levels 1 to 3. You're not sure which one until you look at them in detail. Um, there's random trinkets that you're not sure whether possibly magical or possibly enchantable. There are potions as well of various different colors. You see maybe 10 bottles. Some you recognize being potions of healing. There's a few bottles that have wisps of air moving inside, and other random knickknacks. You want to do anything with
Interesting.
them?
The stuff that you said that had something floating in it, what is that actually?
You can ask. You can pick it up and sort of shake it and check it out.
I mean, with my artificer's intuition, is there any way I can from does this look familiar to me, I should say?
Make an intelligence check.
Raw intelligence?
Yeah,
Do I get to add D4 because of this?
yes.
Okay, cool. Rolling
15.
D4.
You think that
6,
maybe
17.
17. Okay. You think that maybe the inside has something to do with being a floaty thing, either a levitation thing, a flying thing, or a mist thing. But you have to ask Imogen or somebody on the floor to help you with that.
Before that, I'm just gonna look at the stopper. Is there a tag taped to it?
Um, the the shelf that you have in front of you pretty much says, "Ask the floor."
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll set this back down for a minute. I have a rough idea what it could be. It's probably levitation or gaseous form, so I'll set it down for now.
Okay.
And I'll head over to the counter and wait for Imogen.
Okay. Thankfully, Imogen finishes serving another customer and turns to you, and she goes, "Oh, hi. I
Hey,
haven't
Imogen.
seen you in a really long time. Well, technically, like a week,
Valerius
I
will scratch the
think.
back of his head. Like, yeah, I've been kind of busy. Listen,
Oh no, that's fine.
yeah. Say, I was hoping whether you had any of those crystals back in stock, the one that I used to buy from you.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. We have a lot. Do you want different colors or do you want more? We're actually having a sale this time. It's a 20% discount because we're getting new stock, and this time, it's supposed to be better or something. I not particularly sure, but my dad said that we need to get rid of all the stuff.
Not.
Don't tell
Gesturing
anyone.
for
It's
her.
just for selected few individuals.
I see. Interesting. Sure, I'll have a look.
And
As she's
she
bringing out the tray of gems and whatnot, I'm gonna ask her whether she has a all-purpose tool in stock.
an all-purpose tool. Exactly. Well, what do you mean?
Like out of game, the all-purpose tool, the magical screwdriver thing that turns into every tool thingy.
Isn't
What
that
is it?
something that artificers can make?
Is it? I don't recall seeing that in my class list.
I
I
don't
thought it
know.
was an item. Hang on,
Somebody help me out.
let me double confirm. Hold up.
Let me find let me find it.
Oh, oh.
All-purpose tool 5E. Hmm. Dinner de fifth edition.
Let me confirm whether it's an
Loading.
infusion or not. I don't recall it being an infusion.
I mean, it could be another class,
It's not an infusion, it's an uncommon item.
it's an
Ah,
uncommon item. Okay, okay, okay. Um, make a D100 roll for percentages.
let's go. 28. Fuck.
She looks at you. She blinks at you. She's like, nobody's actually asked for that before. I mean, we could get it from one of our sister shops. Here, and then she pushes a book next to the gem case that she has put on the table. Can you just write down the note, your name, and then we'll send you a message when we get it. I mean, we could get it later this evening if you wanted to rush it.
Valerius nods while still inspecting the gems as he's picking them up. He's like, before I sign my name in that book, I have to ask, how much is it?
Oh,
And how much would it be to put a rush on it?
well, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Because, all-purpose tools kind of hard to find considering it turns into everything. So, tradies, plumbers, like the high-tech plumbers will want to get their hands on it, and it's sort of like a trade tool that not many people have access to for obvious reasons.
All right. If that's the case, then I'll temporarily set down, not drop. I'll set down the gem I was looking at and then sign my name in regarding the with the information that she wants me to put down.
She nods. I'll send you a setting as soon as I find out, which will not take longer than a day. You'll probably find out like by the end of today. Um, I'm assuming you're staying in the vicinity.
Valerius cocks his head slightly. He's like, honestly, I'm not too sure how long I'll be here, but probably you can see like a giant question mark appear on Valerius's face.
Like a actual question mark? Like she can
No,
see?
like more like a face of confusion, I should
Oh,
say.
she's confused. She's like, I get it. It's one of those transitory kind of job things. I get it. I get it. I'll try and get it to you by this afternoon, and then you
That'd be
can
great.
come back and get it. Yeah.
Also, I've been meaning to ask how are you here? Weren't you in weren't you an F1 minor?
You know, not many people ask me that question. And then she looks around and she goes, "Hey Jack, can you take over the floor? I gotta help with a customer." And then she wheels herself out to the floor next to you, and she's like, "A long story. It has to do with my dad, but essentially, all gas bodies is just sister places that are sort of connected to each other, and all of me are sort of like a hive mind."
Valerius blinks. What did she just say?
A hive mind, like Ankex. I think like there's a queen, but the queen is my dad. He can't have kids. He got his balls just, exploded during a mechanical thing. We don't talk about it.
Valerius' face from went from this is fascinating to too much information.
We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Valerius is like, okay, he's gonna question more about this like hive mind. So is this some form of linking spell, or he's gonna go really in depth in this if she lets him, of course.
She nods. Well, it's less a leaking spell and more we're kind of the same people. So the Imogen in Chestet would know that you need an all-purpose tool, and she's right now doing inventory and telling me if it's a plausible gambit for her to teleport it here by this evening, if there's a rush fee, of course.
Valerius nods and he's like, do you share a consciousness with the other Imogens, or is it more of like each Imogen is their own person and then you can converse through telepathy or something like that?
Oh, we're all technically the same person.
Valerius is slowly digesting this information.
She's sort of, when she answers you, her eyes are darting all over the place in the sky as though she's trying to figure out how best to explain her existence.
Valerius like nods like, so would it be fair to assume that you're like the way all of this works is similar to a mycelial network?
She thinks about it. I mean, if you think about it, we're not mushrooms. It's more like ants with the same brain. Although, I say that we're ants, but I'm not willing to die for my sisters or dad, or die for myself. We're still very sentient and sort of able to make our own decisions ad hoc, but eventually that ad hoc becomes like a permanent memory within all of us. It's very confusing.
Valerius files his information away for later and stops, well, not stops, like directs the conversation back towards the gem because he realizes if he's going to continue, he's going to be here for the rest of the evening.
She waits patiently to see if you have any more questions, and then she goes, "All right then. Um, Looking at the gems, do you have anything you want to get in particular? We have a few sapphires, some yellow sapphires. We have a ruby. There's a really big emerald there that you may or may not want. Honestly, I haven't seen anybody who wants to buy that. Personally, it's too big, too flashy. Somebody will
Yeah,
find a reason for it. And you can cut it into half, though I don't recommend it because you're reducing the price.
that is true. Anyway, Valerius will point towards the sapphire gems. Like, I'll take 2 of those. What size are they, by the way?
They're the size that you want. Like
Okay, cool.
it's floaty sized. The
Okay, cool.
sapphire and rubies is floaty sized. They're more all purpose, but the emerald is as big as, it's about 3 inches long and 2.5 inches wide. Like it's a big chonker.
Let me pull out my ruler because I can't really tell how big that is. Hold,
uh,
please.
it's quite large. as big as your palm. Well, my palm.
I have rather large hands, so I don't think that applies. Oh, it's that
Exactly.
big. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Huh. I'm gonna look at Imogen, give a somewhat awkward smile. I was like, no, I don't think I'll be taking the emerald. Good luck on finding a buyer, though.
Well, that's fine. Hopefully by the end of today, somebody will be picking up, so we can restock with other interesting things from a better supplier.
Valerius nods to this, and he's final question. Do you happen to carry enchanted light-studded armor? Leather-studded armor, sorry.
Studded leather armor enchanted, like out
Out
of
of game
character
+1.
+1 or
Yeah.
+2. Oh yeah,
Just
those
pause.
are generally upstairs. We have them under lock and key. I can definitely show you around. Are you done with the sapphires?
Oh yeah, Valerius holds up two of the sapphires. Like, yeah, I'll just take these two.
Okay, she takes a pouch from under the counter and she takes a pair of tweezers and then puts sapphire into two separate pouches and then puts it away for purchase later. She closes the box, puts it under the table, takes the notebook, the ledger that she asked you to fill, and then she closes it, puts that under the table as well, and then leads you upstairs.
Okay. While this is happening, out of game, guys, should I sell the 4 sets of plate mail armor we acquired? Because that's still with me.
If you want, I don't see us using it. It's
We
either
are
we
like
sell
the
it.
only group that does not wear any heavy armor ever.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is true. Yeah. All right. I'll inquire Imogen as we're going up the stairs or whether they accept trade-ins.
Oh, what kind of trade-ins are you looking at?
Valerius opens the pouch of holding trademark and pulls out like a set of plate mail armor. It's like, I've got 4 more of these.
Why don't you put it over there, just for me to check it out, and I'll
Okay,
take
sure.
you to the little armor cabinet for all our special things.
Okay, I'll set them down, all 4 sets on the table.
Okay.
And you
She
might as well
leaves it
let go
there.
of anything else you don't need also.
I mean, is anyone going to use Kel's sword?
We should keep Kel's sword.
Yeah, someone's going to use Kel's sword, then
Like
yeah.
we might not use it, but we want to bring it to the Aegis and be like, "Yo,
Evidence.
Yep.
what's
So
this?"
basically, we're keeping everything sans the plate mail armor because everything else is kind of important. All
Yeah.
right, up we go.
Okay. I need a list of that so I can do some math and then tell you how much she owes you.
Sure.
But we'll go to the leathers cabinet. And she's like, this is all our special equipment right now. We can do enchantments. It's a basic magical one. This is thematically a +1, and this one is a +2. It's just at the moment shinier. But if you want extra enchantments on it, we can do that as well.
Valerius nods. How much for the +1 set?
Let me check. Studded leather armor. I can give it to you for 250 gold pieces. I mean, if you buy more, it'll be cheaper, obviously. And you've already got 2 gemstones under your name and possibly a screwdriver, so I might be able to bring it down a little further, provided you buy something else. Or we'll see what else you have to sell, and we'll see.
Valerius nods and he's like, unfortunately, I'm not equipping a small army, so I'll be just getting the 1 set.
She sort of wheels herself there, opens the cabinet, and presses a button, and what you see is the armor just fall to her hands.
Cool. Interesting.
It's just so that I don't have to be carrying around so many keys and stuff.
Do
Fingerprint
you need
activated.
do you need me to carry that for you? And gesturing like down the stairs, of course.
Oh no, it's okay, I got it. She folds it
Alright.
and puts it on her lap. I'll be checking the armor that you put upstairs in a bit. Do you want to try this out?
She's meaning the armor, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, why not?
Here.
All right, thank
The
you.
changing room is over there.
All right. I will be right out. Turns around, heads to the changing room. What does his armor look like, by the way? Besides the obvious studded leather.
What do you want it to look like?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Surprise me.
It looks like pizza. No. It says Domino's Pizza on the logo. No, it doesn't. It is a brown
It's
studded
for
leather.
extreme delivery, man.
Extreme delivery man. Getting your pizza to you in 20 minutes or less. Or you get the pizza free. It's a basic brown set of leathers, very thick, very sturdy. I know it says studded, but that doesn't make any sense to me. So it's just very, very heavily fortified leathers.
Okay.
Around the middle part is a lighter tan, lighter shade of brown, and then you have spalders and like leg guards. Like it's a whole thing, but it's still very unassuming. It's for people who
All
don't
right.
want to get into trouble, so it's not too flashy.
Valerius in his mind, I'm gonna paint this bright white later. But anyway, he tries it on.
Okay. It fits well. There are some parts which hang loose, but you know that if you attune to it for an hour, it would get better. Like it will fit you like a glove.
All right, cool. I'll take it off with the knowledge that I am definitely gonna be buying this
Okay.
and head
Um,
back downstairs.
when you come out, uh, she does meet up with you again, and she goes, "Well, what did you say this thing was again?
What was what?
The was it breastplate,
Oh no, it's like full set of plate armor.
plate armor?"
4 of them.
She she sort of clanks on it. This is pretty decent quality stuff. Do you maybe want to sell this to us? And then we'll have like a credit situation for all our stores.
How much are we talking per set?
Well, I can buy a set for you from you for about um 900 gold pieces each. So it's a pretty significant amount of money.
What is the retail price for
That
plate
does
armor?
sound very good.
1,005 normally.
Okay, it's not too bad, actually. Considering someone died while wearing it, it seems like a reasonable offer. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, worth.
That's more than I would expect to get.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will not enthusiastically. Yes, I would like to sell all 4 then.
Okay, on store credit?
That'd be great. Yes.
Okay, I'll just put your name under store credit. Just can I ask where's this branding coming from? It's like a scratch.
I'll look at the
What
branding.
is
I'm like,
this logo? I've never seen it
uh,
before.
just a bandit group that they fancy themselves as something better than the others.
A bandit group has a lot of money to be having full plate armor.
Uh, don't tell me about it. Valerius sighs as he like somewhat slumps into the countertops. Like, ugh.
Is there anything I should shoot off to my fellow bees? You know, in case this happens to come across us and they, want to ransack the store. Not that we don't have any ways to circumvent it, but I don't want any means disappearing off the face of the earth. That's a memory I tend to keep for a really long time. There was this one time the store got robbed. I managed to repel it, but at the same time, I died. Well, one part of me died. I was replaced shortly after, but dying sticks with you for a really long time. I am saying a little bit too much. I'm so sorry.
Valerius nods and he stands back up a bit more. Right, he's like, "Well, I don't really know much about the particulars, but I can tell you they are well trained, on par with enlisted soldiers, I would say."
Oh wow, that's actually quite terrifying.
Yeah, it took me and my group rather concerted effort to take them down, so be wary of them when they do drop by.
I will. I have issued an update for this situation. Then, thank you for selling the plate mail. And if you have any more, you can feel free to sell it to us under store credit.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Thanks again for the help.
No worries. Which means that everything you buy today technically,
Did not cost anything.
I mean, you don't have to pay actual cash. You can buy it under store credit.
How much would everything cost actually right now? With the gems as well.
How much did I tell you the gems cost? Was it 175 last time?
Let me check my notes.
I think it was
If it was
175.
this was like all the way in session 1.
Standardized prices. Come over to Gaspardi's shop, where we have standardized prices all throughout Crera.
Is this in session 1?
Do you need caltrops? We have special caltrops. They're called Jagos.
I believe it's 175, yeah.
It's 20% off, so I'll do the math downstairs, and then we'll just,
Okay. I'm gonna note this down right now and put a giant exclamation mark over it in case I need to redo
175.
floaty. Okay. 175, 20% off. I can't do
Yeah.
the math, so
Floaty's a very expensive toy creature
to be
thing.
fair, he's rather useful.
That is true.
Super useful. I'm gonna see if I can boost the range on him.
Okay. That is the 4 pieces of armor at 900 apiece. You have 2 gemstones and 1 +1 studded leather armor. I heard you mention to yourself that you wanted it, changed a different color.
Ah, yes. Valerius also adds a pot of white paint and light blue paint.
She looks at the pot of white paint and the light blue paint. She's like, "We have specialized tanning things and dyes for leather." And then she brings out a separate white. The white isn't exactly white. It's more like you have to get rid of the dye that exists in the leather right now, which is brown. It's gonna take maybe like a day. But you can use prestidigitation to speed it up.
How much speed are we talking about if I go that route?
I'll be done in half a day. Well, stick to high heaven, so do it in a well ventilated area. She puts enough. Basically, it's 2 cans worth. 2 um 1.5-liter cans worth of the bleach, the bleaching agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wanted a light blue, right?
Yep.
And then she brings out like a blue dye. The longer you leave it on, the darker it gets.
Okay. Valerius nods, temporarily activates his armor to make sure that the shade is correct and switches it back off.
She is taken aback. She's like, "Oh, that's really cool. I think I've seen you do that once before. I can't remember. I have a lot of memories."
It's fine. I get it. Also, how much would this be with the paints as well?
Numbers, because the DM needs
Numbers.
to math right
Okay.
now.
Numbers.
Numbers. Remind me
Deduct
later.
this from store credit, sure.
That's
Alright.
the part of the shopping that I hate. It's like, oh god, numbers.
All right, with this affair settled out, I will bid Imogen a farewell and grab my stuff and head out.
Okay, I'll see you.
See you. Let me know when you got the information for the all-purpose tool.
Yeah, I'll give you a sending as soon as I can.
All right, thanks. Bye. And leave the store.
You leave the store. As soon as you leave and the doors close, you see a group of 5 people, who are clad in scholarly outfits rock into Imogen's store, and they are very loud, as if they're like best friends or something. Doors close again. You're met with the silence of a city, which is not very silent. Where to next?
Out of sheer curiosity, the scholarly people that walked in, do I recognize the outfit?
They seem like Riker's folks, but they don't seem like somebody from your department.
If that's the case, Valerius will like do the pull the hat down, try to hide a bit, realize he doesn't have a hat, and just quickly walk off.
Since you're being very suspicious, Make me a stealth roll as you casually do
Oh
walk
shit!
off. One
Oh
of
no!
them manages to look at you because you were at first you didn't react to them, so they were mulling through, and then you sort of tried to pull an imaginary hat over your head. That
I
person
didn't
turns
realize there's
around
no head.
and sort of squints at you, and then you recognize a face of recognition from them, and they're
Oh
like,
no!
and they quickly go into the shop. And from the windows, you see them excitedly talking about something to their friend, and then they turn around, they see you looking, and then they keep quiet and look at the floor.
Valerius is like, well, this is gonna be a whole thing by evening. He's gonna very quickly catch a cab to Erin's house.
Okay. You go to Erin's house. Eventually, you make it there. You have a set of keys from her that she said use anytime, but you know for a fact that she's not home today. She would be very likely at the office.
Oh, Valerius is scatterbrained. Would he have known this before heading over to his house, to her house?
I mean, yes.
If he did, I would like to revise what Valerius did.
Okay.
Like
So
to
what
go to the
happened?
office instead.
Halfway heading to the house, you remember, and then you knock on the door of the cabbie and you say, "Oh, wrong place. Can you take me to Rika's instead?" And the guy's like, it'll cost you." And you're like, "Yeah, fine. You feel power from having so much Gaspodi store credit that you think money doesn't mean anything to me. I can spend much. No.
I mean, he's back in the heart of Bra, wearing Riker colors. He needs to remember at some point that I don't have the funds to do this.
Think of
Anyway,
the Gaspodi's credit though.
okay.
Eventually you reach a place that you recognize, and you have a lot of both fond and disturbing memories in. You again see the secretary at the concierge, and she goes, "Oh, it's you. How can I help you?"
Is she being snotty about this, or is she just
No,
generally
it's
like
just
this?
her voice.
Okay,
Same person.
okay. Valerius will greet her. Insert name. Good morning. I was wondering if Erin was available.
Oh yeah, she's in the office. Um, we're
Um,
just gonna have to need to security check you because things have happened. Also, do you still have the same access?
Valerius thinks about it for a moment. He's like, I recall Mother rescinding all of my access, but he detaches the little badge that he has and hands it to her. I mean, you can check whether I still have access or not.
She
I'll wait
doesn't
here.
take it from you, but she does give you a similar LCD screen to what you're used to. And there's a box area that you're supposed to flash the card onto. And when you do, you see that the access granted sign on various floors, and you see that 80% of the places that you used to be able to go into is now locked.
Ah, expected.
You see the mess hall is still open to you. Your access to your teacher is still open to you.
Mhm.
Erin is no longer open to you, but you can request that she come out. What else? The library, which you think that's very kind of Mother.
Okay.
Oh, also all the toilets in every floor.
So, so basically, I just get like basic necessities in the library.
Yeah. But here's the thing about the toilets in every floor. You can access all the toilets, but you cannot access every floor.
Wait, what? So, oh, that's stupid. Okay. Valerius will sigh, looking at the restricted access. Like, okay, can I get a visitor pass for the day or the next couple hours?
Sure. Where you looking to enter?
Uh, I would like access to visit Erin and my mentor. if any of the doors going towards there are barred for me.
She looks at the slate. She's like, access to your mentor is free and easy. You can just walk in. And she points to the door behind her. And, but Miss Erin's office is off limits to everybody but a level 6 security pass, which is you know that to be the highest. So your mother or any one of the siblings that have a chief something position. Not even your
Val-
cousins have that.
Valerius nods and he's like, "Can you leave a memo for her or send a message to her right now?"
Oh, sure. Um, Actually, she hands you a communication device. It's a sending stone.
Oh, perfect.
You recognize the sending stone as reminiscent to the one at the hotel where you touch, and then the glyphs would light up, and you would get concierge.
Valerius nods like, I need to get this technology for myself. And then he holds the sending stone up to his mouth and starts speaking. Hey, Aaron, it's Valerius. I'll be in Brawl for the better part of the day. If you're free for lunch, let's meet at your lunch break at the cafe. He looks behind him towards the entrance where he came from, and he sees like the nearest cafe is like insert name of that specific cafe around lunchtime.
You send that, and immediately a reply comes in. That's wonderful. I will see you at lunch. But I might be late. Is that okay?
Valerius now say, yeah, sure, that's fine. I plan to take some. Oh wait, can I still respond, or is this a one-off thing?
It's you look at the person at the desk and she's like, why not?
Okay. And it's like, yeah, that should be all right. If that's the case, I'll spend some extra time with Mentor then.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I will go to Master Ukiang's office, and if you're there, we'll go together.
That's his name. Okay, I didn't know his name throughout this entire time. Let me note that down. Master
DM to
Ukiyo.
player, I told this ages ago. Damn.
I know.
You could have asked me. Yes, Ukiang.
I know. It just like fell out of the radar because it wasn't that important until right now.
It is now.
Master
Ding.
Uki. Okay, I got it. All right. With that,
Um,
I'll hand back the communication to the receptionist and give her a nod of thanks and turn around and stride purposefully to my master's
Okay.
quarters.
Before you head to your master's quarters, make me an insight check on the secretary.
Okay. Val is not too good at insight, but he got a 14.
You don't know whether or not it's something that is inbuilt to everybody who went to the same secretary school, but she seemed to not be able to hide her gossip face.
Oh
but
boy.
but at the same time, it's a face of, oh, you poor thing. I'm still gonna talk about you, but you poor thing.
Oh man, okay. I'm gonna very quickly beat a hasty retreat before any more people recognize me.
Okay. You reach Master Ukyong's door. It's a big oak door with carvings on the front.
Wait, hold on. Before we continue, wasn't there supposed to be a security check? Then just evade that.
I'm gonna say it happened. They know you're you. They
I
just
mean
have
that.
to. It's a bit like a TSA, but they're not 100% in it because you've been here before. They know you. It's just a procedure.
They didn't take away any of my weapons or armor.
No,
right?
no. They
Okay,
they let
cool.
you walk through. They know who you are. They know you're a nice guy. They haven't changed any of the guards.
Okay, cool.
They just
Cool.
know that you have several things stripped from your person.
Okay.
You can choose to make more insight checks on the people that you pass by.
I mean, I would like to make an inside check on people that are familiar to me, like people I've actually held a conversation that lasts more than 5 minutes with, if I happen to pass by them. Especially the guards.
You know most of the guards because you pass by Master Ukyong. You used to go to Master Ukyong often, so they know who you are. They're like, oh, Master Valerius, it's good to see you. Blah blah blah. So I would like to have you make one insight check for all of them. to see what you gauge. 15.
15.
There is again that sense of you poor unfortunate thing. Like I am so sad this happened to you, but I can't do anything about it. At least these people, the guards, don't have that face of gossip.
But it's pity. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's the buddy, that kind of face. Like, aw.
Out of sheer curiosity, has their armaments and armor changed, or are they still using the old issued gear?
As far as you can tell, the same issued gear. You also know this because your mom, who is the head of finance, and
Yep.
accounting, hates to spend
Nice.
money. So even if there were anything new, you know the guards won't get it until they absolutely need to.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Anyway, you step in front of the big oak doors, double doors with a sign that says Master Okyonk, Research and Development, Professor in blah 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 blah. Letters under his name. ABC 123 XYZ PhD.
Do I need to knock? If I did knock, how hard did I use to knock? Did I just like grab a weapon and just bang against the door, considering how large it is?
Once upon a time, you used to just barge in, but you're not sure what the relationship is going to be like now since you've not been here for months, years even. You've been to his house, you've seen him with his wife and his children, but otherwise, not in a professional capacity.
Best be safe. I'll rap on the door then.
You hear a voice come from the other side. It's open.
Push the door open and head in.
Oh, it's a while, dear boy. Please have a seat. I can ask one of my personal assistants to make you some coffee. Would you like some coffee?
Yeah, that'd be great actually. I'll take a seat and then like relax into the seat as I reminisce like how often I used to come here and the hours, months, years I spent in this office.
He calls for a coffee that you're used to drinking.
Mhm.
And he goes, I didn't expect you to come here to the office on such short notice.
Well, I thought I'd drop by. I happened to be in Bra for I don't know how long really, but I'm here for now anyway.
You see him take his pocket calendar, which is on his table, and flip to today's date, and he's like, if you want, we can go for dinner. I'll have my wife cook something, and you can see the boys.
Valerius thinks about it for a moment. It's like, when did Gunlock tell us to re-meet again?
She didn't.
Evening, right?
Wait, she did tell you 6
No, she
o'clock.
didn't.
6 o'clock at
6 o'clock.
She told you to tell the rest.
Right. Oops.
Well,
gotta make this
Wendigo
quick.
knows.
Okay, I just gotta tell Doc Boss then and Morgana.
Okay.
Okay. Valerius will smile and then shake his head slightly. It's like, unfortunately, I'm already preoccupied in the evening. Perhaps tomorrow if I happen to have time.
It's unfortunate. You just glance on his table and you see a picture of his wife, a dwarf lady, and two adopted children. Very cute.
Valerius like gives a nod towards the picture. It's like, how's the family? Everything all right?
Well, two boys are getting rambunctious as usual. The older they get. I don't have long to live, but, I'm just happy to be able to adopt the boys.
Ah, you'll be fine. You dealt with me when I was younger, and Valerius says I was worse than your kids.
He looks at you and he blinks and he's like, we all know that was a lie. The only person who has actually had a problem with you is your mother.
Valerius kind of what's the word called? Jerks, I think. Yeah, jerks a bit at the mention of his mother's like, yeah, that.
You remember that Master Okyong has never been one to hold back on his comments and it's
Yep.
gotten him into a lot of trouble.
Mm. In the case of Valerius will continue to say, well, unfortunately, I'm not here on just a social call. It's partly business, if you happen to have the time.
Well, I'll make time for you right now. I thought it wasn't a social call because if you wanted that, you have gone to my house and have Vernis make something. She always does. What was it that you needed? The coffee eventually comes and is put in front of you, and the person is ushered away from the room and asked to close the door.
While I'm sipping the coffee, can I look to Masukyo and ask him, like, can we temporarily use a workshop table? It's kind of important.
Oh, yes, of course. He gets up. I say he gets up. He jumps off his chair. He's a very diminutive old goblin. And he runs to the edge of his office, and then he presses a button, and the wall slides in, revealing a mini workshop.
Is this new?
No, you've seen it before.
Okay.
It's
Alright.
his personal one. Unfortunately for you, it's his size, but it's
okay.
easy to do more covert shenanigans with things that he doesn't want other people to know.
Okay, Valerius makes his way over to the workshop, squats down so it's appropriate height, and he attaches the globe, the anti-magic globe, to one of the suspender arms.
Master Okyonk looks at this globe. I am going to make a roll to see if he recognizes it. He has an inkling as to what it is.
Valerius continues, like, as he's putting this into place, he's like, during my travels, me and my comrades encountered a group of unsavory individuals. They fought rather nastily, and their leader had this as a prevention method against magic users.
You see his brows furrowed, and he's concerned. Well, the thing is, my dear boy, there's been research and development with that kind of technology for years.
No, that's not what concerns me.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings one of the magnifying arms closer, and he shows the craftsmanship of Rikers in the inner surface.
Yes, that's what I meant. I am not aware of any approvals to mass produce them because they actually cost quite a lot of money. He thinks for a while. He looks up to the ceiling and he strokes his beard and he goes, if I remember correctly, and I was not privy to the conceptual design of it, there was a big bankroller who stayed in the shadows. Lots of money.
Valerius nods. He's like, did you happen to hear any rumors of this person? Was he or she from the Aitelyu grounds?
He shakes his head. Unfortunately, those kind of projects I'm not very interested in. You know this about him because he was the one that worked with you on the transfer of souls.
Right. Valerius nods. Is
So
like,
trinkets like this is like child's play to him.
well, I should tell you something about this. The people that used this, they were rather familiar with our organization. I'm not sure what father or mother might be doing with all of this information, of course, but just watch out for yourself. They are rather proficient in combat. I'm not sure. Now go on first.
You feel a hand sort of on your forearm as you fiddle with the trinket and put it on the helping hands, and he goes, my dear boy, I heed these words. Your parents, your father, your mother, are actually good people, driven by money, so good may be something of an abstract context. But generally, if it has something to do with anything murdery. He looks at you when he says murdery as a way to sort of confirm what this thing was used for.
Valerius nods.
Your mother, although in a position of power, is more interested in the money that comes into Rikers. So we may do other projects that would be beneficial to the city of Braw and other connected cities in Chastent and so on and so forth.
As Marcel is saying this, Valerius gets a more distraught look on his face as he's like, he agrees with this, no doubt about it, but it's more like, why? It's like he goes on like a small tangent. It's like, but at what cost? If we're bringing ruin to the other states, the other cities, what good does it have when the rest of us is surrounded by wastelands?
He he looks at you with such sad eyes as he takes a mug of tea. It takes a while. He sits himself on a set of couches and he beckons you to sit with him. Do you know the
Begrudgingly sit
story
down.
of how your father and your mother met?
No, I don't. Mother and father weren't particularly keen on the details of their marriage or how they met. They were more intent in drilling the knowledge that they wanted to pass on to me when I was young.
She didn't used to be like what she is now.
Bit hard to believe, but I'm listening.
I hate to say this and you probably would cringe, but she's a lot like you. Was.
Oh, you can see Valerius like literally recoil in horror. It's like, "Ugh."
He laughs at this. He finds it amusing and he goes, You idolize your father. If I may be so frank to say, you are nothing like your father. Your idealism is very much your mother's thing. But she lost that when she got married into the family. Not for the want of your father, but of his family, of the Rikers. She had shoes to fill, which unfortunately would have been your father's shoes, but he was more interested in science and tinkering and how magic works. He was like me, your father. He was very happy doing his own thing. Fell on your mother to take it upon herself. And she was very highly trained in accountings and things to do with money, which I'll be honest, I'm not very good as well. As long as the money keeps coming in and I can do all these projects, helpful projects, I'm not one to complain, which I can see now that it may be a problematic issue to be. So he stays silent.
Look, I'm not gonna blame you for using Riker's funds when obviously you have the means to do so, but I just don't understand. Like, I can't get into the specifics, of course, but the work I've been doing the past few years, it doesn't make sense. Like, Mother wants to better the people abroad. That's an admirable goal. I won't deny that. But at what cost? And he is there a map in this room, like of the world?
No, but you know that you can open one of the books on the shelf behind his desk.
Okay, it's fine. If there's no map, Valerius will make a map. He'll pull out his tablet and switch on the map of the world of Kreia at least.
Okay. He sees the
Alright,
map. He's like,
so
"Mhm."
at what cost? And then he takes the pen, the little stylus that he has, and he like draws red outlines in the areas of Efflon, Locklear, and Efflon Miners. Like, what good does Brawl stand to benefit if these areas, these other town cities, cease to exist?
He nods. I'm not going to pretend that I know exactly what's going on here or whether or not I follow the politics. I don't. I personally don't care. As long as Crera doesn't descend into the madness of war and taking over other countries. I'm sure it'll be fine. I understand where you're coming from. And I know from what you've told me you've been staying at the slums for a while.
Wow.
I think you have what we call the opposite of rose-tinted glasses. Everything everything looks like shit to you.
Well, looking outside the office and seeing Brawl with his climate-controlled dome and whatnot, it's hard to believe that anything could be wrong. But once you step outside, I've been to Locklear. I've been to, well, several of the less fortunate places in Korea. It's a bit hard to see everything's going to be all right once you've been there.
He looks surprised to hear that you have traveled so much so suddenly. Let me ask you, when was the last time you saw Master Okyonk at his house?
Uh, Me and Gun met about. Hang on, let me check my conversation with Aida real quick. Okay. At least 5 years ago.
5 years ago. So you
Valer-
haven't seen him since?
Yep.
Okay, so that's a pretty long time.
Mhm.
He nods, he's like, that's all of this within the 5 years. Hmm. That is a fair bit of travel you've done. But there also have been a lot of advances in general when it comes to how people live, which I hope we are a part of, not including everything outside of Carrera. The buying, selling, and trading of various technological goods is something that keep very dear to us and your mother handles. But if you're worried about this trinket, he gets up and he goes to the trinket that you've put on the helping hands and he zooms in. He does the enhance.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am looking to reverse engineer it. Hopefully, give us an edge against whoever's using this against us.
I can ask around, but I will tell you for a fact that this project was thrown out a long time ago because we found out that somebody from another continent had already patented it, and it would not be monetarily viable for us to continue.
Valerius thinks about old board meetings that he was a part of. And he recalls the time where someone had the timepiece on their wrist and he casually mentions like, could it be that group? I don't think you gave me a name, so I'm gonna go with that group.
Sure. There was no name because you couldn't remember exactly. It was just a blur, but you remember being in board meetings. I'm not entirely sure which one you mean. There have been several that you've sat in, and a few where several projects actually have been disbanded. Off the top of my head, uh, the one with the wrist timepiece, the one with this thing, and then he prattles on about 5 or 6 other projects that didn't make it past the prototype phase.
Valerius nods. It's like, well, if you don't know anything about it, then I guess that's all the better. That at least it's not widespread here.
I
But
would ask you to consider maybe the other arms of Rikers.
I would, but my access has been restricted. I don't think much people look upon me favorably as they do last time. It's not
He
like a whole lot of sway or power these days.
he laughs and then he goes, "Oh, did you know there are several rumors coming out all over the place about you?
Oh dear, what are they about?
Um, you were kicked out of the family and estranged. You had denounced the Riker's name, which I highly doubt. So as far as I've known you, boy, Riker's has been everything you'll talk about, day or night, even in your sleep.
Don't let Aaron hear you say that.
And this is the most damning one, which will get you into a lot of trouble. That you sold some data to our competitors overseas.
Wait, what?
He nods. He's like, very unlikely, but you know how they like to gossip. You've been gone for 5 years.
Valerius is standing there like, yeah. And then he jokingly says like, there's gonna be more rumors after this. On the way here, I encountered some Riker engineers. They seem to make quite a fuss of seeing me.
He strokes his beard. Just as he strokes his beard, there's a knock on the door and a sing-song voice on the other side. Master Okyonk! Hello! Knocks on the door. It opens, and I'm like, and she's like, "Oh, good, you're here, Master Okyonk. I don't know if Valerius asked you to go for lunch, but would you like to join? Unless Valerius, it's just the two of us."
Valerius turns to Aaron, gives her a smile, and lets her decide. She can roll an insight if she wants.
She will roll an insight, but Master Okyonk will also roll an insight.
Do I need to roll anything?
She says, "I'm sure he'll be fine." And then Okyonk goes, "No, I'll be staying here. I have a lot of work to do, my darling. Off you go now. Valerius, if you have anything else, go to my house."
I should be here. I'm not sure how long I'll be here, but if there is time, I will drop by.
I mean, I honestly don't want to answer your mother's questions about your whereabouts.
About that, Valerius pulls out a note, 2 notes actually, and he hands it to Masukyo. It's like, for my parents, if you don't mind passing it along.
I can do that. He takes it from you, and then he goes, "Now off you go. Lunch is waiting."
Yes. No need to rush me now. I'm sure you're excited to continue whatever projects you had in store here. Then Valerius like grabs the spear off the grab arm. He's like very quickly look through the workshop. Is there anything else that he's working on at the moment that he left out?
Mostly papers. You see a few research papers. Very boring stuff. Nothing that sort of attracts you to it.
Nice.
Make me a perception check.
Well, my rolls are
Seven.
somewhat horrible today.
You look at the papers, and then you see from the corner of your eye, still on the helping hands, the trinket that you didn't pick up.
Oh no, I did pick it up. I said I picked up the globe before I left.
Oh, okay. You did pick it up, but
Alright.
you don't see anything else. You just see your darling girl waiting for you at the door.
Alright, I'll just very quickly walk over, give Master Ugyok the farewell wave while also giving him a wink, and I head out.
He acknowledges the wink and goes back to drinking his tea as the doors close. Both of you walk, talking. Well, she speaks excitedly about random banal things, lunch that she had previously. It's pretty much Instagram post, but in words.
Okay. So I'm not sure what to say here. So I would say during the lunch it will be mostly be catching up and whatnot, but towards the end there's actual stuff I need to talk about.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. You're eating right now.
As lunch is wrapping up, I'll set aside my utensils and push the table of food, the table, the plate of food that I
Push
pushed
the
aside.
table, and she's like, "Excuse me."
push the plate of food away a bit. And it's like, Aaron, I had a few questions I was hoping you could answer.
Anything. Also, you didn't eat that much. Are you alright?
Valerius will smile and then pull down the collar of his shirt a bit to reveal some bandages. I'm fine, don't worry. Uh, but yeah, I've recently gotten into a scuffle with some people, and well, there was something wrong with the combatants that I was fighting.
How so?
Valerius will pull out his tablet and show a picture of the worm slime thingy that he took a photo of before Doc Boss did anything with it.
She is concerned. She looks around to see if anybody's listening in. And then she taps the picture. That's... What does it do?
Preliminary analysis suggests that it makes the user, the infected person, more hostile, stronger, volatile, uncontrollable. If that makes sense.
Any changes in physiology?
From what I recall, was there?
The person seemed to be paler,
Ah, yeah. I'll mention that then. Yeah.
poorly looking.
The person looked. Uh,
They had gray skin
right.
and would not die.
They had gray skin. Yes, they. I will
It
relay this information, and
black
that
stuff
my
from orifices.
yes, and my God, it took a while to kill them. I won't say kill, beat them down.
I I can do some research, but I've heard of some of these things happening back in university when I was studying with a bunch of clerics. Something about zombification, maybe? Undeadness? Although I don't think, why would anybody use that? It's highly unorthodox.
Valerius thinks about it for a moment, and then he continues like, "Well, I should mention that of the combatants that I fought, I can confirm that two of them had the whatchamacallit, two of the slimes in them. One of them was as I described, gray colored in skin and whatnot, and the other one uh, was fine. He looked normal, human, and nothing changed until we forced the thing out.
Hmm. I actually have no information at the moment.
Well, that's to be expected, I guess. I was quite stumped as well. But if you can find any information regarding this, that would be great.
I can try, but here's the thing. I'm under a lot of work stress right now. We have a new client that expects progress weekly.
Valerius thinks back to a couple of years back. Was her clearance level 6 back then? No, right?
No,
Okay, I was like,
not
yeah,
at
I.
all.
Valerius like, yeah, I noticed that you got quite a promotion.
Make me a perception check.
Okay. 25.
In the light of the restaurant, you look at her and you realize she does look tired. She has eye bags that
I'll reach I'll reach a hand out to caress her face. Like, are you all right? You look rather tired.
I can't really tell anyone about the new project, but suffice it to say I've not had a lot of sleep. Um, it's been hard, but I'm hoping that finishes soon.
Valerius nods and sighs a bit. It's like, well, just keep yourself healthy, all right?
I'll try.
Well, I'm not sure where I'm gonna be, so letters might not be the best way to correspond. So if you wanna reach me, sending might be better. You know what? I'll stop by a shop later if I have time and pass you a half of a sending stone, so we can
She
keep in touch.
She nods. Speaking of letters, did you get the letter from Luke?
I did. I haven't taken him up on his offer, but I have received a reply, yes.
I didn't actually read the letter, you know.
Yeah,
But
I
what
know.
was it
I'm just
about?
me and Luke are investigating something independently regarding one of his commanding officers. And if my theory is correct, then it's rather damning, at least for the appeal grounds.
That should you be speaking so freely about that out here?
Valerius did kind of make sure to look around before he said that, so he's like, well, unless someone overhears me, then it should be alright. And even if someone were to check up on me, they've already known that we've been conducting these investigations for a while.
That's fair. I just don't want you to get hurt.
There is a pained smile, and it's like, it's a bit too late for that, unfortunately.
Right. Instead of hurt, I just don't want you to die.
That's understandable. I don't want to die either.
You know, this shiny rock that you gave me. It's a nice trinket, but it would be even better if it meant that things would progress between us. That would mean you staying alive.
I know. I want to get this job done as quickly as I can, but unfortunately, thing after thing just keeps cropping up. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, but this takes somewhat precedence. I'm not saying you're not important, of course. I'm just saying that if I don't do what I'm doing, I'm not sure we'll have a future for that.
I understand. I'm just worried.
I know.
There's honestly nothing I can do if you choose to gallivant around other places.
Well, Valerius shrugs. Is like, I suppose that's true enough. Anyway, I'll get someone to drop off a sending stone at your office.
Right.
I'm not sure how long I'll be in Bro, but if I do have time, I'll drop by your house at night. You will be in, right? Or are you overtiming more than usual?
Overtime. I think yesterday I spent 20 hours at the office.
You know, the last time you did this, I smacked you for it. So if you want that again, Valerius raises a threatening hand, acutely aware of how feeble he is.
She laughs. As much as I would find it interesting that you would do so, it's really not going to change anything. It's the foreign clients.
Yeah, I can't deny that. How's Sierra been doing, by the way? I haven't seen her in quite a while.
She's around. She is now. She thinks for a while.
Head of security.
Mm.
Head of the Rangers. The Scouts, sorry, not the Rangers.
No, she's been poached by the chief of securities, your uncle.
Valerius squints from where he's like, wait, so she's a guard now?
Well, head of some of the guards. I can't remember the designation, but she's up there. You should be proud of her.
Valerius squints at her for a moment, and I would like to make a insight or whatever check to kind of determine, is this the kind of cost that my friend would have taken? Like the person that was always raring to go on adventures is willing to lock herself down to one location to be a captain of a contingent of guards.
Make a general intelligence check with advantage because you know her.
719.
You knew her, but you also know how fast people can change. So the girl, the Sierra that you knew protecting you is one of the Rangers. May have had a change of mind but you also don't know enough about the goings on in the securities department. Although you were part of the scouting regiment, it's a lot bigger than you realize.
Right. Well, Valerius sighs and he's like, well, looks over at Aaron and said, well, let her use the sending stone if she wants to contact me. Be nice to hear her voice after a while. Not saying it's not nice to hear your voice, of course.
Erin nods. She continues picking at her food. And then she goes, and how long more are you going to be here?
There is a faraway look in Valerius's eyes as he responds that he honestly doesn't know. Like, he could be here for the next hour, he could be here for the next week, month. He honestly doesn't know.
Also, she turns around and looks directly behind you. I think that somebody you know is standing just outside there.
Valerius sighs. He's like, turn around. Who is it?
You see the wings on a very pale elven woman.
Oh, perfect timing. I was like,
As
I'll be
she
right back, Aaron.
walks across the shop and she pauses to see all the menus. Morgana, you find yourself in front of a row of restaurants.
Hello.
You're checking out the food. Just then, Valerius walks out of one of the doors.
Wait, this is the next day, right?
Yes. So what happened was after you read the newspaper, you went to the shops, you bought your stuff.
Oh, then I went look for breakfast.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then you
not
went to look for
lunch.
breakfast. Lunch. It's lunchtime.
Lunch, yeah, lunch.
Yes, because you're
Okay.
hungry.
Yeah. So, looking at menu, door opens, Valerius. Oh, what are you doing here?
Oh, I was just having lunch with my fiance. w- Oh, yes, perfect. I actually have some news to give you. Gunlock says to meet at X at this time at 6 o'clock.
What?
Valerius like he sighs a bit. It's like Gunlock tells us to meet us at the docks. Was it?
Oh,
Was it the docks?
I don't
I
remember.
believe it was. I believe it was the docks.
the
Was
dog.
it?
At what time?
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Hang on, let me double
Okay.
check my notes. Fuck, I'm everywhere today. Sorry. Oh, we agreed to. No, that's a rock hollow. Wait.
Okay, it's been a
Have I
week.
met your fiance?
No, she's still inside. Eventually, she does come out with a doggy bag, and extra sandwiches. And she passes one bag to Valerius, and she's like, "Here, this is for you. I
Oh.
need you to eat something." And then she holds her
Oh.
hand out to Morgana, and she's like, "Hello, my name is Erin."
Takes her hand, shakes it. Hi, I'm Morgana.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Always good to see Valerius's friends. Also, a very big coincidence that you're here. This is one of our favorite restaurants, and I'm not sure if you're vegetarian or not, but I have this tempeh sandwich. It's very nice. You should try it. And she passes it to you.
Morgana politely declines. She's not vegetarian.
Oh, she's not. Even if you're not, it's very, very good.
Ah, okay. Nonce takes it, smiles. Thank you. So, are you guys just hanging around, or you guys planning to go somewhere?
I actually have to go back to the office in about 20 minutes. I can hang out for another 20 minutes.
Oh, sure. Anywhere You think I'd like to go?
She points to the vague direction of the fountain area that you remember to be where you hung out with Etienne and where you first met these guys, your new gang. I've always had an affinity to the fountains in general, since the Omni Cathedral looks down upon it. Very beautiful place. I'm not religious myself, but beautiful nonetheless.
Okay. Haven't been there in how many whatever amount of time it's been.
Oh, a while.
So,
You haven't gone to hang out there essentially in months. In a month.
yeah. A month. Okay. Yeah. Let's go take a look. It's been a while. See what's new. Then
Valerius chuckles a bit, realizing that couple time has become girl time and follows along diligently.
She is holding on to your hand. It's not a tight grip, but it's a grip that says, if you let go, I
I'm
will
gonna
be
get
very
smacked.
angry.
Yep, okay, I'm not letting go.
okay. Now Adidas skips to the fountain. Do we see anything nice along the way?
What are you looking for?
Um, Something cute, something to buy, something to eat, like a flea market. Maybe.
We're in the
There
heart
is
of the city of Braun. You're asking for a flea market.
there's
Something cute.
you know that there are weekend markets, like weekend farmer markets near the botanical gardens. Today's not the weekend, so there's no markets, but there are trinket shops, little ornamental shops, a shop that sells mini things like small teacups, small teapots, small tiny books, tiny dressing
Uh,
table, like a dollhouse shop thing.
hmm. Okay, Morgana like glances at some stuff. Nothing catches her eye. Continues. Uh, Eventually we reach the fountain.
Yep. Uh, Morgana, do you let Valerius know about your interest in Imogen? How there is the same Imogen in every shop.
Yes, I would have mentioned that already.
Well, Valerius has news for you.
Oh, what's the news?
He will explain once Aaron is gone, unless Aaron was listened to as well.
But
He starts
Erin
going.
hears you say, "Well, I have got news for you." She's also could does this news include me? That sounds very
Uh,
exciting.
yes, it does. So apparently, Imogen is a clone of sorts that share a hive mind with the other Imogens. Then he goes on this rant about how he thinks it's a mycelial network.
Both of you make an insight check on uh, Erin.
Is she just lost? Is she just gone? Hold up, let me roll as well. 16.
Both of you look at her, and she seems unfazed by this news.
Okay, interesting.
Wait, Morgana looks at Erin like, wait, you know?
Well, I go to her shop often. She is somewhat of a friend. Although mycelial network is not exactly how I would consider it, considering it is such a big gap in distance.
Oh, you
Maybe.
know Imogen. That's news to me. Hold on a minute. Valerius pulls
Well,
out a
who do
note and
you think
scribbles some.
asked to send the letters to you?
Okay, to be honest, at that time I didn't know there was more than one Imogen, okay?
Morgana chuckles at the side watching this interaction.
It's like, hold on, let me just write something else. Like, okay. Valerius hands Imogen a note, Aaron a note that says, I would like to buy one pair of sending stones, then gives the note to Aaron with the with a in brackets says use store credit. So pass that to Imogen, and can you get the one of the Imogen clones to drop off the other sending stone to me when I drop off when I head to the store next time?
She
Wait,
looks
they're
at the door.
clones. They're not the same people. Can they just pass things to each other?
Yeah, regarding that, they apparently share the same mind, but apparently they're independent. Valerius is going on a huge tangent.
Well,
So I have to talk to the one here, and the other girl knows what I'm talking about.
she
Apparently
nods.
so.
Wow.
Here's the thing. I don't think she likes to be called a clone. So just Imogen? Like,
Yeah, I don't plan to call her a clone in front of herself. I'm obviously gonna call her Imogen, but it's just my own working theory, of course.
yes. Then she looks at the paper and she gives you like this mock offense. She's like, "So I'm your errand girl now. I mean, my name is Erin, but I don't run errands."
Well, you just pointed it out yourself, so I guess
Morgana's still
Valerius
laughing.
flinches back, preparing for the smack that's coming.
I'm gonna roll with advantage to see if she can elbow you. It's a natural 20. I would like you to roll me a dexterity check to see whether or not you fall into the fountain.
I hope not. Valerius is okay. He's
Okay,
not
that's
that
good
dexterous,
enough.
apparently.
That's good enough. Like it wasn't a hard jab. It was like a funny haha poop oops. That was a bit too much. And then you sort of stumble and you go backwards a bit and then you maintain your balance. And it looks like you're about to do kung fu. And then you put your arms down. She's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect that to be stronger than it should. I guess my weak arms. Maybe I should do the slapping next time. But yes, store credit.
Yes.
She she looks at Morgana and she's like, "You have store credit?" I mean, she looks at Morgana, but she's saying it to Valerius.
New edition. I just got it like a few hours ago.
Wait, how did you get stall credit?
I'll look over to Morgana. It's like, remember those bandits? I'm giving Morgana the don't say more look. Remember those bandits and the armor they had? Yeah, I sold it off.
To Imogen.
Yeah.
Oh. Nice.
So we have store credit now.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'll remember to use it.
Don't use all of it, please.
I mean, she does have scrolls, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear lord.
Store credit. Well, aren't you a fancy person with lots of money now? I'm kidding. I do have to leave. And write up another report. I am so tired.
Our
You know, I
hero.
heard about this scroll of catnap somewhere. Somebody in the department was telling me. I will go ask and see if I can get it on store credit as well. I'm kidding. Anyway,
Oh, dear.
I have to go. It was a pleasure meeting you. And she shakes Morgana's hand. And then she gives a very, very like tight hug and a kiss before she leaves to Valerius. As before she leaves though, she manages to whisper, "Be safe. Don't do anything stupid."
Valerius grins at her with the look that, oh, he's definitely gonna do something stupid while saying, I love you too.
She sees this, she chooses to ignore it, and then she walks away.
Okay. Then.
Oh dear.
What is it like time to go to the docks now?
I didn't think it was that
no,
fast.
you have
It should be
several
any-
hours more. Morgana,
Yeah.
you have enough hours to either yeah, you have enough hours to do some scribing of your new spells if you choose to.
Ah, okay. I tell this to Wendy. I know
Okay.
Wendy Black. To Valerius. That I'll go back to the hotel.
Okay.
The hotel? What hotel?
Her hotel.
I live in a hotel.
You guys went to a hotel?
Wait, where are you living? Where are you staying when you're here?
I was in the slums.
Ah. Would do you want to check out my hotel? Not
You know,
in
I'm
the
so
dirty manner.
I'm somewhat glad you said that when Aaron left. That would have. No, it's fine. I need to go check up on Gunlog anyway and find Doc Boss. So I'll catch you at the docks that evening.
Okay. Then I'll see you later.
I will, remembering what the fuck happened at Imogen's store, I'm gonna tip my imaginary hat at her and walk away. And hail a cab.
Morgana, visible confusion.
Yes.
It's gonna
Very
be a running
confused.
gag now.
Do
Quizzical
this.
look on her face as she smiles and walk away.
Morgana looks at you and be like, "Did you buy an invisible hat with your store credit?"
Lo and behold, he did.
Oh my god.
Lays his hat down, feels the pressure on her head. It's like,
Okay.
I'll hail a cab and head to Doc Boss's place.
Okay. You are aware that Bosk is at the slums clinic, right?
Yes, I'm fairly certain Gunlog told me that.
Bosk, where were you? At like around 1-ish? No,
I
2-ish.
think post lunch, I'm going to the library
Ah,
to
yes.
do homework.
So Valerius basically just gets out, heads to the clinic, learns Boss is at the library,
Yes,
catches
you'll
presumably
find.
the same cab and goes to the library.
Pretty much. You catch Normandy, and Normandy's like, she actually went to the library, I think. Okay,
I'm
bye.
like, okay, bye, thanks. Turns around, taxi!
The same one barely moved like 20 feet. Suddenly the reins of the horses gets pulled back. The horse is like, nay. The guy looks behind like, oh god, okay, fine. Yeah, come in.
To the library.
To the library. Da-da-da. Okay, before we get to the library for a while, Morgana, do you want to do anything or are you spending the entire time scribing?
Scribing. There's a lot of spells.
Yes, there is. Have fun! Eventually, Valerius gets to the library. It's not as fancy as the one in Eflon Minor, but it's still an institution. And you still have a library card, and it's still usable.
Alright, awesome. Valerius will punch himself in and look for Doc Boss.
Busk. You are
Yes.
looking for books, of which is the Goop.
Yes.
Um,
Goop related books.
and some of which has to do with Wendigo.
That's if I hit a wall with the Goop books.
Okay, so I would like you to make me
I will focus on the
3
Goop first.
investigation checks on the Goop with
Investigation.
disadvantage because you don't know what you're looking for. Good.
3, 16,
Good.
15.
You spend what seems like hours. You think you didn't look at the clock. You have pulled out books on mushrooms. You've pulled out books on things like cordyceps. Pulled out books on various
All I know
nematodes.
is that it reacts to magic.
You pull
The
out books
necrotic
that
variety.
you pull out books that has to do with zombies and other undead, necrotic magic write-ups and papers. What you find is a thread linking most of them together plausibly. You're just unsure who in the right mind would do something like this. This is very nematode-like in that it attaches itself like a parasite into the body of another creature and manages to hijack the brain. But at the same time, the host shouldn't be in a state of death or undeath. This is mind-boggling to you. And when a nematode escapes the body of its host, it doesn't disintegrate into this liquidy goop.
Yeah.
More information needed. But this is a start.
Do I have an idea of where I should go next to find this more information?
Reading through the books about nematodes specifically, not much on the undead yet, anyway. You realize that most of these creatures are found in warmer climates, in a more rainforesty region of this planet, this
Okay,
plane
so
of existence.
I see.
You start to pull out books from there, but it's just a never-ending trail of scientific jargon about parasitical diseases found in those regions. Makes sense, but still doesn't explain the goop. And you start
So s-
rationalizing whether or not medically it's possible, um, or even scientifically it's possible to sort of merge a nematode with some kind of black or slime or a proto gelatinous cube.
was I able to determine whether or not the thing was synthesized?
You did not, but you haven't found any article within the library of the books that you took out, and you rolled pretty high first
Mhm.
round, and then the second and third round were like pretty middle. Good still. You haven't read anything like this before. Like the way it functions is so strange, and the fact that the thing in your bottle is still technically in a state of aliveness question mark.
Yeah, because it reacted to Normandy's magic.
So is it truly alive, or is it just functioning on like a virus where it's not a living creature per se? It has the if this then this, like a computer program.
hmm hmm
But we don't know what computers are in this world, so like a mechanical device.
More science must be conducted.
Indeed.
We'll
Um,
attempt to have proper lab with rats.
but you deduce from your research that it could be anything from the nematode slash leech family, but most likely nematodes. Not like cordyceps, because
Mhm.
and most likely related to creatures of the goop family,
Yeah, and
and
it
then
whatever it is, it's probably like programmable in some way because it seemed to know that the guy was having certain thoughts and that's why it killed him. Like it
mm-hmm.
didn't kill him when he was captured because he didn't know, but once he was like conscious, then it was like, oh no, his brain is doing the thing that I was told to not let him do. I have to
You
eat him
also
or
know with
something
the
like that.
23 that there are spells that give these kind of things. Like, if you do this, bad things will happen to you.
Yeah,
I personally don't remember which spell that is. It could be GS or something.
yes, there is that. That is a thing that exists.
But you know that given the confines of the technology, the magitech that exists, especially since you started speaking to Valerius, who appears in your periphery, you know that magitech exists and that you can start mixing different kinds of magic to produce these kind of things. You just don't know how or why. This seems like it goes against all the conventions. If there was
Why
a
would they do
UN,
all these things?
but this is what you find out. It does take a really long time, and by the time you come to this conclusion, Valerius sort of appears in your periphery. Both of you have a decently high um, passive perception, so I'm gonna say it's easy for you to sort of bump into each other.
Ah,
Ah,
I look up and then wave and then look back down.
I'll walk over to boss, keeping in mind not to say anything until Alice's whisper because it's a library. Walk up to him, to her. It's like, hey, boss, how's it been? I have some news for you.
Eventful. I look up when you mention news.
First things first, Golden Knight wants to meet us over at the docks at 6 o'clock. This is
I check
regarding our.
time. Is there a clock in the library?
Uh, there is some kind of clock, and that clock is a person,
Oh,
a timekeeper,
timepiece man.
timepiece man. He has what was it? The alert feat that tells you exactly what time it is.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Hey, they gotta do jobs, man. Sometimes they just have feats,
Every
but they're not adventurers.
every hour he just like writes on this chalkboard.
Ding dong, 1 o'clock.
Does he just hold a bell and just dings it whenever he's like, it's been an hour.
You do, if you pay attention, you do hear like a very light ting on the top of the hour. You assume it's on the top of the hour because it's consistent.
Makes
But
sense.
you go up to him and he will tell you exactly what time it is, which is
Does Valerius know what time it is? Because if I'm just like,
Valerius is.
6.
he did
What's the
come from
time
the
now?
outside.
I did come from the outside. What time is it?
It is about 3:30. If you ask the guy, he'll be like, it's 3:37, 52 seconds, 53 seconds, 54 seconds.
Valerius will reply to Dot Boss is like, well, we have about 2.5 hours before the meetup time.
Oh, is it that time already? I look up.
It's been a while, yeah. How
Do I
long have
know
you been
how?
here?
I don't know. I came over after lunch, so
Oh, okay.
um, do I know how long it takes to get from here to the docks?
Uh, since you're at the center of town, it would take you like 30, 40 minutes if there's traffic. There's no traffic.
Are we expecting trouble? I left most of my things
Mm,
back at the clinic.
not at the moment, but best be prepared. Second piece of information. I'll look at the book that Dot Boss is holding. What book is she holding?
There's so many on the table.
Does anyone
There's
pertain to zombification? Or does have a page
there's
open?
there's several books of necromancy and several journals of necromantic magic being used in the real world.
At this point,
Um,
Valerius notices the books and he's like, I see you come to a somewhat conclusion. I would like to tell you that my fiance believes that the parasite is zombification in nature. She is doing research as we speak.
Ah, I see. Would it be good if I met her?
Don't think that'll be wise,
I
but she will be giving us regular updates. We'll be getting a sending soon from her sometime soon.
I nod. Um,
If you are free tomorrow and we are still here, then I believe I can arrange a meeting.
um, nod. That would be good.
Well, in any case, Valerius pulls a seat over and sits down himself. What are you looking at the moment? There's quite a bit of books here.
I pull out the notes and explain that, well, whatever it is, I think that it's been altered significantly because, and then I explain why, how because Valerius doesn't know this information yet, but the thing took effect right when our captive kind of realized what was going on, that he had been captured. Um, so whatever it was could had to rely on his sort of sensory means in order to do what it was going to do.
Valerius nods and he's like, so we lost that one, huh?
Yes, unfortunate, but I shrug.
Was anyone hurt? Are
It
you all right?
happens. No, everyone's fine.
All right. Where did Wendy head off to? I met Morgana earlier in the city center, but I haven't seen him yet.
I think he's taken Farid around to get him settled.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else to do. I don't mind chilling here until you're ready to go. But if you need help with research, Valerius stands up and heads towards a rack of books. I don't mind helping out.
I look up and then remember the other thing, and then I'm like, no, we should focus on this first. Right. Well, so far I figured out blah 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 blah.
In regards to this
I
information, Valerius heads off to shelf X, where information X is kept, and starts
I
pulling out books.
also mentioned that whatever this thing is holds up little vial. It still seems to be able to react to magic,
Valerius like squints a bit. It's like,
specifically of the necrotic necromancy magic. I don't
let me
suppose you have anything like that to test it.
hold that thought. I look through my spell list.
I
I
clicked on my spells tab out of habit and it's completely empty. And I'm like, oh, right.
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 I don't believe I have anything in necromancy because I mostly have evocation stuff.
Well, even if you did, this wouldn't be the appropriate place to test any. I
That
look
is true.
around.
Okay, reminder to people who are in the city, you know that magic is just generally frowned upon when used here. And you do
Mm.
have the magic police who will be like, okay, that's dangerous. Jail
Like no, no,
time.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, Valeri's like, yeah, we shouldn't do this in the city center.
Yes, yes,
The
yes. This was just
wardens, the
like
guards,
this
whoever,
was
the
just like
police.
informative.
Yes, very interesting. Valerius will help with research. What time do you want to leave?
Um
Probably should head back to your clinic to grab your equipment, all things considered.
yeah, just in case. Because we
Say,
I
yeah.
don't suppose you know what we're going to be doing. Are we getting picked up? Do we need to bring the others or is it just us?
Valerius, on habit, points at Doc Boss and like, wait, I can't cast magic here. Leans in. I think we're meeting our new handler.
Oh, all right. So will we be bringing the family to get them?
I believe so. Not sure Gunlog is taking care of that side of things.
I
Valerius,
see.
you remember that you worked with Kunlug to try and decipher the poem?
Yep.
One
The
of the
pool.
things that it recommended was that you do not bring anybody else but yourselves.
All right. No, we're not. It's just us.
Okay. I suppose I should bring everything that I
All right.
think that we'll be needing then.
Let's head out, say 4:30, and try to be half an hour early at the meetup point.
Sounds good.
All right. We have about 2 hours to kill. Let's. Valerius
Those
picks up a
will
book.
fly by.
Yep. Off we go. Time
Okay.
skip.
Wendigo. After the text RP that we did, you have about 2 or 3 more hours before 6 o'clock before you have to head to the port. Would you like to do anything?
Uh, how long would it take to travel to the port?
Yes. You are in the center, well, the center-ish of town, like one of the closer suburbs where Maxwell's is. It will take you about an hour to get to the port by cab.
Sorry, can I get a reminder again? What was the port business?
The port business is to meet your new handler, the poem.
Oh, I think I might have missed that part when it happened.
That happened last week. Who will explain this to Wendigo? Mm.
Because I don't remember anything about that last week.
After after Gunlog's steamy session, she came across a poem at one of her haunts where it's like, oh
Oh,
yeah, that.
Oh my god, we have the devices and they resort to weird poetry.
Less poetry and more, what's it? Thieves' cant. A sort of thieves' cant.
Well, Wendigo does not know this. What
Wait,
time
what?
is it now?
It's about 3:30,
3:30.
close to 4. Yep.
So as far as he knows, the meeting is still 6 at the Duck.
Yes.
Let's see. And how long does it take to get to the Duck?
2 hours. Oh well. From where you are, it's 1 hour, and then from the dock to the port is like 2 hours.
Okay, then Wendigo is just going to you know what? After leaving the tailor's shop, he's going to walk with Farid and just spend time walking for a bit, look for the nearest park, get out of the shell shock state of being exposed to tailors.
It was an uncomfortable moment, with measuring tapes, scribbling, pins, awkward questions. You find yourself in a small park within the suburb. You see people with pets, people with children, people having a stroll. Farid looks at you and goes, I've never had a, what do you call that, a fit out before. Is this customary to get to know who your employer is, your boss?
Wendigo will take a deep breath. Important to look good.
That makes sense. But if I were to be working in the forest, for example, the jungles, I don't want to go into the tundra again. It's a terrible place. But if I were to go into Chest End, wouldn't it be very strange for me to uh, hunt rabbits in a suit?
Not for field.
Oh, you have other plans. Yes. I'll wait for you to tell me more. In the meantime, I'm quite enjoying whatever this is. Where are we going exactly? Are we going back to the dock?
Yes. Yes.
In,
Just catching breath.
that is a perfect place to go get your breath. They have very good alcohol. Well, good enough. Better than what I had anyway. But not as good as that bed and breakfast. He sort of points at the sky, and you realize the time, and he goes, if we are to make it by 6 o'clock and have time for drinks, I think we should leave now.
Mm. So Wendigo will take a walk through the park to get his mind off it and then hail a cab after passing through.
Okay.
After seeing this like normalized scene of people supposedly being normal and all that.
Make me an insight check as you pass them one by one.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's a
4.
4. Tank.
You're still reeling from the fact that the NC measurements went dangerously close to your nethers, and you're still very uncomfortable that you don't take stock of how people are looking at you. Eventually, you flag down a carriage, and it stops a fair distance away from Duck for normal reasons. Most people don't want to go into the slums.
Yeah. We
You pay
walk
the
the
man.
rest.
You pay the man. You walk the rest of the way, and you enter Duck. It's not as loud as it was the time you came in last night. In fact, it's quite subdued. You see the head of Fermi pop up immediately as if he's waking from a dream, immediately alert. And he goes to you and he's like, "Oh, bit early. What can I get ya?"
Gin and tonic.
"We can do that." He turns around and he scans the shelf for gin and he pulls it out. We don't really have tonic, but we have light beer. So gin and light beer.
All right.
He makes a dirty gin and he puts it on the table. And then he looks at Farid and he asks, what do you have? Just a beer, thank you. Whatever you have. Cool. He puts out the drink. Is there anything you would like to do as it approaches 6 o'clock?
Wendigo will try to understand a bit more of this Gunlock's base of operations in terms of how does this place actually function. It's a complete mess. The organization is strange. How many entrances and exits are there? Like, is this really beer they serve? Why do they throw it at people when they come in?
You
He's
have
just
so many
dissecting all
questions.
of this.
So many questions. Make me one perception check and one insight check. Advantage because 20 dodged. 22 dodged. This is definitely much more different than what you're used to in, I forgot what's his name's shop.
Alfred.
Alfred's Rest. Alfred's Rest is dignified, hushed, comfortable, subdued. Fermi's duck is called duck because of the amount of times you hear that word being thrown at you alongside a bottle. Fermi's is dirty, dank. The floors are sticky every time you walk. You hear off your feet. You sit down and you're pretty sure there are bed bugs on the couch. But you also realize that the people who are here today and thinking back to yesterday, the people trust each other. There's still the same sort of amnesty that exists in Alfred's. You are here, although bottles are thrown, it's often not out of spite. There's an accord here. You're not entirely sure how it functions as it is, but you also think that definitely Gunlag and her gang has a hand to play in keeping everything running. Well, as much running as you would consider for the slums. Is there anything else?
He will take out his little cleansing stone and activate it every like 12 seconds or so. Like, "Rrr, rrr."
The cleansing stone is in front of you as you activate it every so often, and you become clean. And the cleanliness just gets repeated. You can't really tell the difference as much, but the fact that certain things become less smelly around you attracts Farid's attention, and he goes, "What is this?" It makes you don't smell very musky, although your musk tends to come back every few seconds. It's very strong.
Wendigo will blink and then like roll like push the stone over to him. Dry.
What do I have to do? Do I just touch it?
Wendigo indicates how to use it.
Okay, he tries and does the same thing, and then suddenly he's way cleaner than even after he came out of the B&B. And he's mystified by this. He's like, "Yeah, this is amazing. I think I can take off my shoes and people will not die this time. Also, my scalp feels very clean. This must be very expensive. I would like one."
We'll get one.
He nods. The time to the meeting is close. You are 15 minutes away to 6 o'clock. And still, you don't see any of your compatriots.
Wendigo will get up and look at Fermi. Your
Yeah.
boss. Where?
Mike, I'm the boss here. Oh, you mean Gunlaug?
Hmm.
Oh, I don't know, man. I can. Let me get somebody that works with her. Maybe like Max or yeah. He asks someone in the vicinity. You assume one of the running folks, and they disappear. Oh, did something happen? Like she was supposed to meet you here?
Yes.
Uh, I've heard of things like that happening in the slums. Like, pretty much, you go out, you make plans, and then you forget to tell the rest of your people. So half of the people end up being where you want them to be, and then half of the people end up with like the old news. It's wild, but not devastating because in those situations you get to meet more people, you get to eat
Wendigo
food.
will stop listening and just like hold on to the amulet from Etienne and try it.
Okay, what are you saying? He's like, okay, got it. Not listening. I'm just gonna wipe some glasses. What are you sending to Etienne?
Where are you?
You wait 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. You're pretty sure the message was sent, but there's no reply. Eventually, one of Gunlaug's friends appear, which I have to look for their name at the moment. Give me a second. Gunlaug, who are your friends? Okay. Kine appears. You see barging into the bar, shouting hellos to people. A female tiefling, very light on her feet, very swift as she walks, and then she stands in front of you, arms on her hips.
Did Wendigo see her before the previous day?
I believe so. Yes.
Hmm.
They were all there when Gundog first appeared. When you all came back to Bror before everybody left. And she's like, I don't remember if you remember me. I'm Kine. Apparently, you were looking for Gundog. She's left to the port
When?
like an hour and a half ago. Oh no. She didn't tell you. Oh, this is why I keep telling her. Like, every time you change plans, you have to tell everyone. And then you see Kine just pacing up and down the shop. Like, very quickly. She's like,
Wait, small question. Do we not does whatchamacallit, does Wendigo not see the rest of us arrive though?
you're not there. You're at the docks, not at Duck.
No. Look at the chat, the rectified thing.
Oh, are you supposed to meet at Duck first or at the docks? Because wasn't it 6 o'clock at the docks?
It was 6 o'clock at the docks, but it was an hour before we meet at dock first to update everyone on what's happened, and then we go to the docks.
Okay. I just read that. Sorry.
Alright.
Eventually, rewind. Valerius, you appear with Busk.
Look around. Do I see Wendy? Anyone else?
Morgana appears shortly after. And you see Wendigo and his buddy.
I'll point it out to the
Wait,
dock boss. Yeah.
wait. If we meet at 5 p.m. at Duck, we'll be an hour late at the docks.
Yep.
Wait, is it? Wait, serious?
Yep.
It takes an hour from the city center to the Duck, and an hour the other way to the docks, and
Yep.
2 hours in between.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about
Rewind again.
more?
Okay, let's just say you all end up at Duck at some point. Wendigo is becoming clean over and over again as you walk in, but Gunlaug is not there. She
Okay.
is
The moment our sending machine is out of order, this happens.
okay. I'm gonna ask Morgana, which spell did you copy down in your 4 hours?
Sorry, with that. In 4 hours, I didn't manage to finish a single spell because they're all level 3 and level 4s.
Oh,
It takes
okay.
2 hours per level.
Oh, that's ass. Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
I was hoping you had sending, but no, it's fine.
No, I already have sending.
Oh.
I already have sending from when I bought from the guy at the
Costed.
the library. Remember?
Oh, but if you want to copy that down, once you copy it, it disappears
What do you mean?
into the book. Like it's like a photocopy shredder.
Yeah, but the one I already did it last time, so I already have it in my prepared list.
Oh yeah. So you have sending if you want to send any notes. But it's still gonna take you a fair bit to get there. And you assume that Gunlug is already there, Valerius. You know this.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, so we rewind time to all of us at the dock with enough time to arrive at the docks without being late, right?
Yes. This
Okay.
is some Shaun of the Dead speed time shenanigans.
Okay, so basically all of us are sitting here at the docks and we're like, where's Gunlock? She late?
Okay. So can I not send sending then?
Oh, yeah, you can. You have it.
Yep. Okay. Sending to we're not like, hey, we're at the docks. Where are you?
The
Question mark.
duck,
We're
the
all
duck,
here.
not the
Oh
docks.
wait, duck. Oh.
Duck. Quack.
Yeah, we're at the duck. We're all waiting for you. Are you coming? Question mark.
She replies with, "Wait, I thought all of you were coming here to the docks."
I need to point out, if you don't remember, Shah, it was Gunlock's idea to meet at the duck first before going to the docks.
I'm just gonna say she's at the docks.
Okay.
Well, whatever it is, get here. We've got important people.
Okay. I will go out and hail a cab then.
Convey the message.
Okay.
Good. Take care.
Yes.
Well,
To the
Valerius-
taxi.
To the taxi. Speed travel, fast travel to the docks. You appear at the docks. I'm gonna say Gunlug is in the background because she's not actually here. But she updates
Yeah.
all of you about the poem, the meaning, which I'm gonna copy paste because it's easier. The poem. Anybody with thieves' can't before she tells you the meaning can sort of try and figure this out. But in the middle of you trying to figure it out, she just tells you that Valerius and her came up with this meaning.
In the card, right, Wendigo will just keep poking people with the cleansing stone for some
Oh.
reason. So
Wendigo
why
becomes car
Why
wash.
is he OCDing right now?
To be fair, he is covered in fur, and Duck has a lot of probably fleas and or bed bugs.
Oh no.
he's poking other people with it because he was just in the place that failed every single standard ever established for him.
Understandable. I shall help Presty.
Presty, clean,
Yeah.
clean, clean.
You're all those pressing.
For Breeze.
I'm going to give it to the rest of you to carry on whatever conversation that needs to happen. You meet up at the docks. You wait a while. You all go to a bar there. You look around. Nobody seems suspicious, but make me a perception check anyway.
All of us?
Yeah, I'm assuming all of you are on alert,
Mm-hmm.
so you're all paying attention, except for
Valerius
Valerius.
is.
Wendigo!
Valerius is doing something else.
Wendigo is
Damn.
so
You may have rolled a 1, but your value is still higher than.
That's true.
it's a one. 9, you're met with smells of the ocean. Although it's cold, you can still smell the fish that was being sold today. Also the dank smell of wet, soggy wood that clads this bar.
Smells like, smells like fish. Oh, by the way,
There's
I have to
Still
ask.
thinking about the goop.
Quick question.
Wendigo's in full alert, intense mood.
Wendigo. You are so perceptive in that you're more looking at how grotty everybody is because you've been cleaning everyone, so you've just been extra aware of when a hair is misplaced, when there's lint on a shirt. You see a small child sort of look in your direction and then slow blink and nods at you. Make me an insight check. Morgana, you don't see this. You just see Valerius and Rezan Bosk get confused by all the noise and the smell of fish and the people shouting. And there's also a sea shanty that's starting in one corner of the bar. 3.
Wendigo will think it's one of Gunlak's runners or whatever.
Actually, Farid is there with you, so 5, which is just as bad. You at least think to yourself, okay, that seems suspicious for a small child to be here. You think that you should probably alert the rest of your gang.
Wendigo will grunt just, then point with his chin towards the kid. He thinks it's one of Gunlak's runners. One of Gunlak's. Then he will approach.
Valerius squints that looks at Gunlock. Is that one of yours? I don't recognize. Is it a him or her?
Wendigo could tell it was a small boy child. Well, it had the build of a small boy child.
Oh, okay. I'll look at Gunlock. Since when did we use children?
She shrugs at you. I'm not gonna pretend I know how to do Gunlock's voice. She shrugs at you and then she motions to go forwards and follow that kid.
Okay.
Okay. We're outside the range of the magic police, right?
Oh yeah, no. The center of town that you're banned from doing magic is only 2 kilometers across.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go.
Once you step out, it's like fireball, but you'll still go to jail. La.
Wait, what? Go to jail.
Fireball, but you still go to jail.
Basically, Morgana breathes, she goes to jail.
That's not fair. I live in the city.
All right, let's go. follow the child, the boy.
You follow the child. Everybody make me an investigation check.
Okay.
Wait, let me tank first.
Oh,
It's cool.
oh, then you
Yeah,
go
you
tanked
go
it.
tank it.
Donk.
Damn.
24, 23, 15. Anybody with higher than 19 manages to see the head of the small child peek out from one corner, and you see the child come out of that corner and scrutinize the area. And then they put a hand towards you and beckons you to come closer. Like Neo, the kung fu come here, but
Okay.
less I'm gonna punch you and more like, come on, let's go.
I need to tell. All right.
Wendigo will just grunt to look at Farid. It wasn't like this last time. And then he'll follow. He's
I-
resigned.
I
We're not
really
pedos,
cannot say anything because I have no point of comparison at the moment. This is the only thing I know, and it's not the ice worm, and I totally understand. You all manage to sort of crowd into the small alleyway, and you hear the small child's voice, but it's less a small child and more an adult woman, very gruff, very impatient. So, you're Etienne's little team, the new one. Well, I guess you wouldn't be called new now that he's babysitting another one. That's fine. I'm here as a favor to him while he's being occupied. What I'm gonna say is you have a day to sort out all your business in the halls. I'll handle the transportation to and from for your squad, and if I'm not mistaken, you're carrying a civilian family.
That is correct.
Right. Well, if it's for a mission, all of you are in the squad, right? And then he looks at Farid.
I would
should-
induct this one.
That's not how it works. We hire you.
It was good reason mission succeeded.
I understand that, but we also have to sort of figure out the kind of person he is. No offense, guy. Look, I don't know who you people are. You can call me Ethis. And then she shifts from the visage of the small boy, and you see a gnomish woman sort of staring you. I would say staring you down, but the thing is she's short, so she's staring you up. And as she's looking up at you, she's like, you know, I'm only looking up at you because I'm short.
Valerius is tempted to push over a crate so she can stand on it.
Do you actually do that?
No. I'm probably said I'm gonna get punched in the face if I do that.
Good call. Anyway, the face that looks at you is half covered with a blank slate stone mask. It has no
Like
features.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, kind of like Phantom of the Opera, but no eyeballs.
Ah.
And she wears a hooded cloak and just common peasant clothes.
I see.
But from her voice, you can tell that she has some kind of authority. And you remember that Etienne did refer to her as his superior.
Wendigo will, seeing her real self now, he will give a proper salute to her and a bow. Because doing so to a kid form would be silly, but this is worth it. Well met.
She sees Wendigo do that, and she's like, "Well, that's one of you."
Valerius will stick up a hand. I'm Valerius.
Valerius.
Does she shake my hand?
She has her hands behind her back, but she nods in approval, sort of.
Awkwardly puts down hand.
And then I'm assuming everybody else says hello.
I nod in acknowledgement. You self.
Smile, smile.
I'll
And
be
then I look to Wendigo to see if he dismisses Farid for the moment.
look, if you really want him employed, I'll speak to someone, but it won't be under the shield. Mr. Farid, ma'am. Mr. Farid, do you want to go anywhere in particular? We can send you anywhere. Anywhere. I will have to think about it, ma'am. I'm going to go back into the bar. Good night. And then he sort of shuffles backwards and then walks.
I give him a nod.
Wendigo give a nod. We'll talk again.
He disappears into the night, and she goes, as I've said, you've got a day in the halls for you to do your business, and then I'll teleport you wherever you need to go. I say me, I mean one of my people. I will not be going with you to the halls if you want to go right now. I have things to finish. But I will meet you at the halls tomorrow morning. So when do you want to go?
Valerius looks at the party. Now's a good time, isn't it?
Do we need to get the family situated?
Looks at Gunlog.
If we are
She-
going back to
she
the
not
halls,
here.
we should bring them, right?
They're
Pro-
definitely gonna come with us. I can meet you up anywhere you want to go. And then she takes out a map from her pocket. There are several areas that I consider safe houses. She pauses for a while and she goes, "You're near the slums, right?"
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, and then she points to a location that's about 20 minutes away from the slums. It's
Okay, that's
20 minutes away. Unless you want to take my person to wherever the hideout is. And you can teleport from there.
I guess Gunlog decides. I can't imagine she would want to disclose the location of their hideout. But
Yeah,
Yep.
so
She
let's
probably looks nonplussed, so she shakes her head. Right. In that case, we'll go
yeah,
over
we'll-
here.
We'll meet you at the venue.
I think hopefully nobody's found out. You've got a 20-minute ride. You'll be fine protecting them. I'm sure you've been fine. Etienne's trained you well. At least he's trained you, right?
In
I
a
don't-
loose manner of speaking.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
He's
Sounds
put us in a position where we can train ourselves, I suppose.
Sounds about right as far as he goes. I can't do anything about that. Anyway, I will see you here in... She looks at the sky. 3 hours?
That you
Sure.
will.
We go grab the family.
Yes. We grab the
Before you go,
family.
the code word is Rosebud.
Okay, sure.
Nod, nod.
Thank you.
Commits to memory. All right.
And then as quickly as she came, she doesn't disappear in a puff of smoke. She just runs away real fast.
She's speed.
Runs away.
She's speed. Oh god.
She's just like it's like hardcore parkour kind of thing. She jumps
does
on.
the Speedy Gonzalez
Yeah,
run.
she jumps on the box that Valerius intended to push towards her, and then she parkours off the wall to the other wall and then disappears on the roof and runs away.
Like
Mm.
Yoda from Star
Yeah,
Wars.
like a Yoda. And now you're sitting in the middle of the docks in a strange alleyway having this conversation. A drunk person stumbles by into the alley and starts peeing at the corner. Just
Wendigo
casual.
will look at him and
Immediately, the peeing sort of like moves onto his
Pops.
pants and slides down his leg, and then he falls. And then he gets up and runs away.
I'll put my hand on the shoulder of the nearest person to me and say, let's go grab the Miloshes.
Yep.
Taxi!
More fast travel. You end up at the Miloshes, well, in Max's hideout. Max is still there watching over them. He's now playing with a small teddy bear, and the teddy bear is having tea with the tiny bunny rabbit that the little girl is playing with. Mina is delighted by all of this. There's also food wrappers from various places. And it
Imagine if
seems
the kids have gotten bored of the tea party. Max is he's gotten into it. He's like, no,
he's
we
like,
can't end yet.
we're LARPing.
We
We're
haven't
tea
said
partying.
goodbye.
Exactly. Tig is pacing up and down whatever little space they have in the attic. And the parents are just sitting there discussing what is happening and what they intend to do because they're not sure. They just know from Gunlog that they'll be transported to somewhere else and then given the ability to go anywhere. They stand up as they see you. So, are we moving?
Yes, it is time to move, so I'll look towards Max. Actually, no, I probably shouldn't be doing this. Gunlock's in the room.
She's not here, effectively. Like,
Okay.
she's not in game.
Okay, I'll pat Max on the shoulder and thank him. It's like, we'll take it from here.
Max nods at you. In background, he would have acknowledged Gunlog. They would have a separate conversation. And what you see is Max sort of taking a little backpack from one of the corner of the room. It's a smallish backpack, even by goblin standards. And he takes the little bear that he was playing with Mina with, and he puts it in the backpack. And he takes a sandwich and he puts that in the backpack. He closes the backpack and he passes it to Mina. And you see the girl child sort of pick up the backpack, immediately drop it on the floor, starts crying, and then hugs Max. And you see her mom and her dad sort of slowly console her. Her father pick up the child and sort of pat her back as she's heaving absolutely at the thought of leaving her new friend. And they all move outside towards the entryway.
Right. I shall keep overwatch, make sure no one's following us or whatever not, and have Wendigo lead us to the rendezvous point.
Make me who is wayfinding and who is doing perception checks?
Wendigo will wayfind.
I
Okay.
will do perception.
Okay, Wendigo. This is not that you cannot find this place. You will find it eventually. I just need to know how long you take to find it. So make me a survival check for the city. Eh.
It's a number.
It's the number.
Low rolls all
Valerius,
around.
make your perception checks.
I have.
13.
Wait, how many more?
No, that's
Are
enough.
the rest
13.
of us making perception checks, or are we tending to the family as we walk?
It's up to you. Do you want to make perception checks or do you want to have something to do with the family?
I think I'm just keeping an eye on them, making sure they don't get lost and stuff.
Okay. Your sharp
herding.
eyes is sort of helping to keep them together because you
Yeah.
don't know what a young 16-year-old boy will do when he gets overexcited, or a little girl when she finds something interesting on the ground.
Yes.
And these are the slums, the dark alleyways, and you're moving away from Gunlog's area.
Yeah. And I know how bad it is around here, so
Wendigo, your survival of 11, you sniff out the safer places for you to circumvent without going into the places that you remember Gunlog had problems with and had you dispatched to get rid of unsavory individuals. Eventually, you reach the place. A little bit later, by 15 minutes, you see Ethis as a child, a small boy in common clothing, in tatters, with a small jacket around him, arms folded, eyebrow raised, foot tapping on the ground. She goes, "So you inherited his tardiness. That's great."
Valerius pipes up, seeing that it's probably not needed, but just says, for sake of clarification, Rosebud.
That's fair. Um, she, uh, she looks to a shadowy corner, and a robed figure comes out. All of you recognize this as possibly a magic user. Again,
yes, the classical robes.
the robes. It's a very
Distinctive
warm robes.
uniform.
Yes.
He's wearing bed, bath, and beyond robes now. Uh,
He has a pointy hat.
Wendigo
pointy
stiffens
hat.
visibly at the sight of things in robes. Those have never gone well.
The robed person, she nods at you all, and she smiles at hearing the word Rosebud. And immediately, she starts drawing a circle on the ground.
Okay. Gesture for the family. All right, everyone, stay close. This is what's going to happen. We're going to find ourselves, blah, 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 blah. Do not be alarmed.
Dr. Boss essentially gives them the flight
Yes.
before the flight thingy. Like, keep your hands, your
Inside
arms
the
and knees
circle at
inside the
all
circle.
times.
If there's an emergency, the exits are nowhere, so you're on your own.
Oh.
Wendigo will be in the rear and he'll just headbutt anyone in that's tardy at the end of it.
Pick and yeet. You see Ethis outside of the circle, watching this happen. You also, anybody who has an passive insight of higher than 15 can make an insight check.
So 15 don't count.
15 count.
Okay.
Nope. 12. Anybody else?
I don't have passive insight of 15.
Anyway, wait, are you sure is insight not a wisdom thing?
It is. My wisdom is 14. I don't have proficiency.
Oh, sucks. Okay.
Yeah. Valerius is more smart than wise.
That's fair. For Morgana, you see something that you recognize when you're working at the orphanage. You see her look at the circle being drawn, but you also realize that she's keeping her ears out for anything that might be of danger to this situation.
Okay.
Eventually, the circle manifests itself, and all of you get transported. Before you disappear, you see Ethis sort of wave a goodbye at all of you as a small, snarky child.
Wendigo snaps another salute at them.
Boof, you disappear. You find yourself in the halls again. The beautiful tapestry of a white, a big silver dragon standing atop a cliff, claws on a different colored dragon, Probably white.
Comfy.
You see the shimmering door ahead of you, and you turn around to see a shell-shocked family just looking around, absolutely confused.
I tell them to follow and don't touch anything.
You see the small girl hide behind the leg of the mom, gripping to her skirt. The dad moves forward in front, followed by Teg. And all of you cross the threshold of the magical barrier. And this is where we're going to end for tonight.
Okay,
For
sounds about right.
the
We're
purposes of you fulfilling part of the contract, you all level up to level 9.
Woo!
Yay!
Okay, now I gotta figure out, do I level up the rogue or the advisor?
Thank you.
Proficiency bonus.
Thank you everybody for
Yes.
watching. We will see you next week. It's great to be playing D&D again. Although
Do we
it
know
was
what
like
the
a week.
appropriate processing is for them as well as what's his face that we have in Morgana's bag? Who I assume off screen she had gentle reposed?
Yes. I'm assuming that she did.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully. I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.